Hello everyone. Today I'll tell you a short story about Cinderella, a tale of kindness, courage, and a little bit of magic. In the quiet of a worn-down kitchen, Cinderella moved with patience. Every sweep of her broom was not just a chore, but a whispered dream, as though she were brushing aside the weight of her sorrow in hopes of one day stepping into a brighter world. Yet even in her solitude, she was never truly alone. Tiny companions scurried at her side, stitching torn fabric and weaving joy into her days. They were a gentle reminder that kindness, no matter how small, never goes unnoticed. The stepmother's shadow ruled the house like an iron gate. Her voice carried commands that weighed heavily on Cinderella's spirit. But beneath the burden, the young girl's quiet heart refused to yield, holding on to hope like a fragile flame. The royal invitation arrived like a gust of spring air. To her stepsisters, it was the promise of admiration and splendor. To Cinderella, it was a distant melody of possibility, one that stirred the corners of her heart. Laughter filled the chambers as her stepsisters adorned themselves in shimmering gowns. Their joy was loud, but beneath it lay the silence of a dreamer who could only watch, clutching the quiet longing that bloomed within her soul. Standing by the window, she held a worn dress close. The fading light of day brushed her face with gold, as if even the setting sun wanted to remind her that hope does not vanish. It only waits for the right moment to shine again. But when the night of the ball arrived, the door was closed to her. The stepmother's cruelty was disguised as composure, yet the finality of that shutting door echoed louder than any words. Still, the story was not yet over. When the soft glow of the kitchen, her loyal friends hurried to mend and stitch. With nimble hands and hearts full of loyalty, they pieced together not just fabric, but the fragile fragments of a young girl's fading dream. But envy knows no mercy. With swift, jealous hands, her stepsisters tore apart the gift of friendship. Threads scattered like broken hopes, leaving Cinderella once again with nothing but tears and silence. Out in the garden, beneath the moon's tender gaze, she wept. Her tears fell like stars extinguished too soon. In the solitude of night, she felt the weight of a world that seemed determined to deny her joy. But just as despair settled, a warm light shimmered among the fireflies. From the stillness emerged her fairy godmother, carrying with her the gentle magic of hope, as if to say, even the darkest night has its dawn. At her feet lay an ordinary pumpkin, yet beneath the wand's glow it seemed extraordinary. In that quiet moment, she realized that wonder can bloom from the simplest of things, if only we allow ourselves to believe. With a gentle flick, sparks danced into the air, wrapping the pumpkin in golden threads of light. In a breath, it was no longer a fruit of the earth, but a carriage of dreams, shimmering with possibility. Where rags once hung, now flowed a gown spun from starlight itself. She turned, her eyes wide with wonder, as if the very universe had draped her in its finest sky. And at last, the slippers, clear as crystal, delicate as morning frost, were placed at her feet. They were fragile, yet strong, just like her spirit. Still, the godmother's words lingered. Midnight would end it all. At the palace, the prince stood waiting. Though surrounded by grandeur, his eyes searched for something genuine, something that shone not with jewels but with truth. When she entered, the room hushed. Time seemed to lean closer, as if even the music knew that a new melody had just begun. The prince stepped forward, his hand reaching for hers. In that single gesture, the noise of the world faded, leaving only two hearts daring to believe in destiny. They danced, they laughed, they moved as though the stars themselves had choreographed their steps. For the first time in her life, Cinderella felt not like a servant, but like someone seen, truly and completely. Then the sound of midnight broke the spell of music. The bells echoed across the palace, each strike pulling her dream closer to its end. Heart racing, she fled down the grand staircase. Her gown shimmered like a fleeting comet, vanishing into the night. Dreams, she thought, are always too brief. All that remained was a single slipper, delicate as a promise. The prince cradled it with care, vowing that he would find the one whose spirit matched such beauty. Back in the ashes, the magic was gone, but her heart still glowed with the memory of the night. For even one fleeting dream can light a lifetime of hope. Across the kingdom, a decree was carried. Every maiden must try the slipper. Whispers spread through the streets, carrying with them the possibility of change. Yet falsehood never fits where truth belongs. The stepsisters twisted and pushed, but the slipper rejected every lie. Fearing the truth, the stepmother locks Cinderella away. Cruelty often seeks to silence what it cannot control. But hope is stubborn. Even the smallest of friends dared to lift the heaviest burdens, proving that courage is measured not by size, but by heart. At last, the door opened. She stepped into the light, her quiet strength shining brighter than any gown. All eyes turned as she approached. The moment was still, the air heavy with truth waiting to be revealed. And then, the slipper fit perfectly, as if destiny itself had been carved in glass. The silence broke, replaced by awe. From her pocket, she revealed the second slipper, completing the circle of truth. Justice, it seemed, could be as quiet as a smile. At last, their hands met again, not in chance, but in choice. The prince saw not just a maiden, but the heart that had endured so much. She left her old life behind, not with bitterness, but with grace. For true freedom is not escape, it is the courage to step forward. The stepmother stood in silence, her pride crumbling into emptiness. In the end, cruelty left her with nothing but shadows. From ashes to starlight, her journey was complete. Cinderella's kindness had written her destiny, and in her joy, the world was reminded. When the heart remains true, magic is never far behind. And so, from the ashes of hardship, Cinderella found her place among the stars. Her journey reminds us that even in the darkest of days, kindness can light the way, and true courage can turn dreams into reality. For when the heart stays pure, magic will always find its way.